That brings us to the main event for UFC 283. For the undisputed UFC light heavyweight title, Jamahal Hill minus 125, Glover Teixeira plus 105. Many of you know the backstory of what happened between Magomed Ankalaev and Jan Blachowicz. They fight to a draw last December. The UFC pivots and expeditiously. Kenny, we will start with you on the main event as you are trailing right now. Jamahal Hill, 3 straight wins by knockout. Jimmy Crute, Johnny Walker, Thiago Santos, 11-1 overall. Only loss via stoppage to Paul Craig, June of 2021. Jamahal Hill right now, a few days out, favored to become the UFC light heavyweight champion. Who wins it?
This is an extremely interesting fight because Jamahal Hill, I feel like, is a very sharp striker. And when he's on his game, he's capable of knocking out anybody in that division. And Glover is susceptible to this and is susceptible to this style. I think Glover's best bet is setting up those takedowns with strikes, go high, shoot low, put Jamahal on his back, get a dominant position, and look for some kind of submission or TKO. I think if he's able to do that, Glover absolutely can win this fight. I just think with Glover, with his age and the miles that he has right now, it's hard to know where he's at. Where his body is at, what's his motivation like. You know, we've seen him slow down significantly, in my opinion, in the last few years. Doesn't mean he's not a great fighter. He still is a great fighter, but he has lost a lot of that speed. And as we know, speed kills. Jamahal Hill has that speed. That I think early on in this fight, we're going to find out what's going to happen. I think the first few minutes are going to be telling. I think that's where Jamahal Hill is probably going to take over. I wouldn't be surprised to see an early win, or some kind of rallying comeback from Teixeira, but I don't know if Teixeira is going to get his chance. I like Jamahal Hill here.
Jamahal Hill minus 125 for Ken Flo. Man, I mean, sweet dreams. Can you imagine if this dude's the heavyweight champ? I mean, I've said sweet dreams before on a punctuating call, but Flo, it's like too fucking perfect. Like, if he knocks Glover out, I'm probably going to fucking say sweet dreams. So I'll just let everybody know. Brian, which way are you going?
I love this fight. I was in Vegas for the Ankalaev-Blachowicz draw. I thought Ankalaev won. I understand the scoring and everything. It was a competitive fight, but I understand the UFC standpoint. Last pay-per-view of the year didn't live up to the hype. I thought maybe it was overly criticized because it was competitive, but I get the business standpoint. Jamahal Hill, man, I'm on team sweet dreams. This guy's confidence and just the way he carries himself and everything is just, I love it. I really, really do. I love the way he handled his loss to Paul Craig. They were dancing in the club afterwards. You know, there's some little spats before, but you know, you look at Glover, and I faded Glover a lot. You know, the age, this and that. And he's really kind of transformed his game because when he first came in the UFC, he was Chuck Liddell's sparring partner, and he was the hardest hitter John Hackleman's ever held mitts for, right? That was his thing. He knocked everyone out. And he's really pivoted to this guy where I'm going to take you down, I'm going to smother you, I'm going to beat you up, and then I'm going to look for a submission. Jamahal Hill, stand up, his striking, his confidence, everything's really good. And Jamahal Hill's flaunting, I just took my purple belt, now I'm a brown belt, right? That's cool, but Glover's been on the ground with black belts and has submitted him. Anthony Smith's a very good black belt on the ground, and Glover pounding him out. You know, Jan Blachowicz got submitted. He's a good black belt as well. So that's good for Jamahal Hill. I like that for Jamahal Hill. But when you look at this fight, and I'm getting a plus number on old man Glover with the style matchup as well, because if he takes Jamahal Hill down, there's a lot of questions we still have of Jamahal Hill. I know he has said multiple times, my first martial arts was jiu-jitsu. But what does that mean? We all know there's levels to this game. And I think if he takes Jamahal Hill down and keeps him down, which is easier said than done, I'm assuming, Glover's going to have a good night, and Glover's going to win with either some kind of submission, some kind of ground and pound, or just wearing him out. So I like Glover here at plus money. And then on top of that, I'm going to lock him up. I'm going to lock him up at plus money. I'm going to go 2 units on Glover. I like him that much. And I want Jamahal Hill to win. I'm a Jamahal Hill fan. I think he will be fighting for the title again, right? I really, really like him. But just this matchup, I think it's Glover's time. And you look at the Yuri fight. Yuri's a savage. Glover had that fight won on multiple occasions. So give me Glover. Lock him up, 2 units.